Hello, PCA community. Welcome. It is like Fine Arts Week here at Portsmouth Christian Academy. The musical is going to debut this Thursday, Music Man, right here in our very own gymatorium. But I have with us right now 3 amazing singers who had a great experience. They're all 6th graders, and they had a really unique experience just a little while ago, and I'd love for them to share that with us. So, ladies, would you begin first by just introducing yourselves to us?
Yeah, I'm Signe. I'm in grade 6. I'm from Brentwood, and I've been at PCA for about 4 years now.
Thanks, Signe.
My name is Emily. I'm in 6th grade. I live in Dover, and this is my 7th year at PCA.
My name is Kaylee. I'm in 6th grade. I live in Rochester, and this is my 5th year at PCA.
Awesome. Thanks, girls. You guys been here a little while. I mean, 5, 6, and 7 or something? I mean, you've been here a while. 4, 5, 6, and been here a while. So have you always been involved in singing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Since 4th grade, we all chose to pick choir instead of band or orchestra because we all like to sing.
So, and you've been singing together
Yeah.
the rest of that time. Wow. How many of your fellow classmates and students are involved in choir, would you say?
50 to 35, maybe?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in choir.
Yeah.
Pretty big. So, Emily, would you tell us a little bit about elementary honors choir? Because that's what we're talking about here.
Yeah. So basically, our music teacher asked us who wants to go to the honors choir after explaining a little bit how it works. But basically, she nominates 4 people, around 4 people to go and perform there. And it's usually 2 sopranos and 2 altos. So
okay.
Yeah.
And so I probably should have done that in the introduction. So sopranos, altos, I'm a
soprano.
Soprano.
I'm a soprano too.
And a soprano?
Alto.
There we go. Okay. So, and just tell us a little bit, who's your music teacher?
Mrs. Schifano.
Tell us a little bit about Mrs. Schifano.
So I think she's really good. She picks songs that she thinks that are that'll fit our voices.
Okay.
And we usually like doing them.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, girls, anything you want to add about Mrs. Schifano?
She's very kind, and when it's nice out, she lets us go outside, which is really fun.
Do you sing outside or just go outside?
Well, we have these groups that we answer questions, or we work on rhythms or notes, and we work in small groups and outside, and it's really fun.
That's really cool. So if I understand it right, so Mrs. Schifano nominated you for, what is this? Is this just few other schools in the area, or who's in the honors choir? Do you know?
It's a bunch of schools across New Hampshire, and
Okay.
we all go to Concord.
Yeah.
To Concord.
Yeah.
Did you know that when you raised your hand and said, okay, Mrs. Schifano?
Yeah.
This was our 2nd year doing it, and it was her first.
Emily and I went last year.
Okay. All right. Wow. That's good.
Yeah, I had kind of heard a little bit about it from them, but otherwise I didn't really know what to expect.
Okay. Were you a little trepidatious about signing on, or were you good?
I was pretty good, but kind of nervous for it.
Well, Signe, tell us a little bit about that experience for you.
Yeah, so the day she was like, do you want to be in the honors choir? I was like, yeah, sure. And then the day we figured it out, I was excited. And then we got our music. We practiced pretty often. And then we went and we had lots of fun all day.
So how much time between when you said yes to when you guys went roughly? The girls are looking at me like they're trying to estimate the time span here.
Yeah, it was around 2
2
months.
weeks.
No,
Months. Oh my.
You thought 2 weeks to 2 months. Somewhere in there, and Kaylee's like, I'm not sure.
because it I think the first time she asked it was
Might have been, I
2
think.
months before, but then we didn't start practicing until a month or so, because then we got the email saying that we were accepted into the honors choir.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't necessarily a guarantee. But
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have to do any samples of your singing or anything?
No.
No,
Okay.
because she knows how we sing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then in high school, you'll have to audition
Yeah.
for.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you got the music,
Mm-hmm.
and what'd you think of the music that you got?
At first, I was a little skeptical of it
Yeah.
because they looked kind of interesting.
But because one of
As-
them was a lullaby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then when we got there and we were all singing, it became really fun to learn.
Yeah.
Okay.
The songs fit our voices together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a big group.
Yeah, as a big group. Like
Mhm.
when you say big group, how many students were?
100
Yeah.
Oh,
or maybe more.
Boys
Yeah.
and girls?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Majority girls, but there were
Yeah.
boys.
Yeah.
A few
Yeah.
girls.
Okay. How many different pieces did you get?
5,
5.
I think, or 4.
4 or 5? They're counting.
5-ish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
5. Or some. Let me ask you this: compared to what you've been seeing here with Mrs. Schifano and the PCA choir, harder, about the same in terms of complexity?
Some of the songs were harder because we had 2 in Spanish
Okay.
with some English, but a lot of Spanish. And then we had one song that was very simple because we sang one word the whole time because we were the 6th graders who kept the beat. And then the 4th graders and 5th graders sang the melody.
Okay.
And then another one that was just very repetitive. So some are very easy and then others are pretty hard.
Okay.
Yeah, at some points, I think we split up into 3 different parts, and then we all came together at the end to finish the song up.
We also had like a lot less time to rehearse than we'd usually have for like a typical concert, so we had to
Right.
do a lot more work at home.
Okay. So how did you do that with Mrs. Schifano, and how did you do it at home? What did that look like?
So every Thursday during recess, we would meet together, sing our songs, run through them, and then Miss Shifana would count on us to practice at home.
Okay.
And so they emailed us like a file of the alto and soprano parts, and we would just sing with the recordings.
At home.
Yes.
I know. Wow. So you gave up recess for this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow. Wait. Oh, wow. Okay. So there's a little sacrifice here.
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
that. I get that. So, Signe, can you share a memorable moment of this that was particularly stood out for you?
Yeah, I think we all agreed on this. So we had a few breaks throughout the day, but at lunch break, they were playing songs on speakers. And at the end, they played Defying Gravity from the new movie Wicked. And everybody was singing and screaming it out. And it was just very memorable.
Oh, like all 100, like
Yeah.
the breaks.
So
just
it's really
coming over
loud
the-
and
the
it's
big-
so much fun.
Yeah.
That sounds fun. So that was an additional song that you all just
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah.
picked up on. Did everybody pretty much know the song?
Yeah.
Because I have to admit that I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't either, but I know the song.
You
Yeah.
know the song?
A
Okay.
few
Defying
weeks ago with my
Gravity.
little cousins.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So that was definitely a highlight. Can you just describe the day? So it sounds like you went with Mrs. Schifano.
Mhm.
Mhm.
What day was this? A weekend?
Friday.
So
Friday.
You got
So
to
we
go
skipped
down.
school.
Went
Yeah.
to Concord.
Yeah.
Got to.
That's the
That
best
was your
part.
school. You didn't miss school. That was fun. Yeah, what an amazing experience to do as a part of school. I mean,
Yeah.
that's huge. And so you get credit. That's a check. That
Yeah.
counts as a school day. So tell us a little bit how that day went. So you arrived.
Yeah, we arrived and we kind of just got settled, put our stuff down. Then we gathered the coaches, vocal coaches, kind of introduced themselves. Then we just got started, spent about half an hour on each song, had breaks throughout the day. And then we ate and came back, had a dress rehearsal in the room we were going to perform in. And then came back for a little bit and then performed in front of all the families. and
So
parents.
wow. So full day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We started at 8:30 or
Yeah.
8. Yeah, around then.
And then
And
the
the performance was it late afternoon or was it
4:30.
Yeah.
So what type of auditorium were you in?
It was
So it was the place we went to was like a hotel.
Okay.
So it was like, I'm not really sure. It was like a really big room. But typically, I feel like it's the kind of place where like you would eat. Like,
Yeah.
like a
meals.
convention center
yeah.
Yeah.
type
it
of
was-
thing or
yeah.
a big
Mhm.
conference
Yeah.
room, like a big
Yeah.
banquet hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily a big sound auditorium.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How did the sound? How did you think the sound carried in the?
That was good.
Yeah, it
Still
was good.
Yeah. Yeah. My guess is that people who designed it, if they couldn't be like in some like Boston level acoustic music hall, they picked something good, and it sounds like they did. And then, like, how full was the audience?
I think
people
It's like
were
packed.
Yeah,
was
people
packed.
Yeah.
people had to stand in the
Oh,
back.
right. SRO, standing room only. Huh?
Yeah.
Well, that's really cool. Had you ever performed in front of
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
group? Were you two last year? Was it similar last year?
Yeah.
How about you, Signe? Have you ever performed
I
in
don't
front of a group
think
that
there
much?
not that many people.
How did it feel to be in front of that many?
Nervous, but was also excited.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really neat. All right. So, Emily, what was the most challenging part of this whole Not just maybe the performance, but even the run up to the performance.
So, like Kaylee already stated, in one of our songs, we there's one part where we sing one word on 2 notes like the whole time.
Wow.
And the other part is like the actual melody where you sing like actual songs. Up to when we went, we were practicing the melody. So we were singing like the actual song part. But then we were told that since we were like the 6th graders, we were gonna like sing the part where it's only like 2 notes in one word. So that was kind of like annoying at first because we were like used to singing like the melody, which was
Right.
the more fun part. But then it was like necessary for like the performance to go well. And so we just went with it.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of mental adjustment going on, right?
Yeah.
Sounds like for all of you. Especially was it a fun song? Was the melody fun to sing?
It was more fun than just singing.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. Well, it's your point. I mean, those are whoever wrote the music, they really needed that part, and you all stepped into it, and that's really, really good. You shared, Signe, you talked a little bit about how you all prepared. How about you? What was your preparation, not just physically, but even for your mind? First time you went?
Yeah, I tried to keep a positive mindset, and I tried to practice like a couple times a week, listening to the recordings and practicing with Kaylee and Emily, with Miss Shafano, and listening to the recordings in my free time.
Yeah. Was there anything that was particularly challenging? Anybody get sick in the whole process? Because that
No.
that can affect your voice, right? Yeah. Wow. What did the rest of the or were your other PCA choir members, were they aware you were doing this, or
Yeah.
what did they think about it?
Well, I know that in my class, they thought that like I was lucky because I got to like skip school for the day.
Yeah. So when you got back, what did you tell them?
I told them it was fun.
Yeah, definitely was fun.
Well, let me just ask you, if you did, that's okay too, but any way that you saw God show up in this process for you individually, in your preparation or in the day?
Yeah, so at first, it wasn't sounding great. I'm just gonna put that out there, but like God helped us like learn how to adapt, change our voices, and like all work together as a group to make it sound like good
Wow.
and
Definitely.
to perform
Yeah.
to the people.
And I think like I wasn't very confident in the Spanish, but I think he like helped me out with that.
Yeah. So was that an area that you all just prayed as you were going through? Or,
Yes.
So,
Definitely.
yeah, that's really, really neat. And just to be able to draw on God's strength in the moment, right? That's what we all hope. You've talked a little bit about some teamwork and applied it right there. Kaylee, could you share any other insights on how teamwork played a role in this performance?
Yeah, so we all had to like work together to make the songs stay on tempo or stay on tune. And we had to like look at each other to like stay on beat. Because for one of the songs, the one that was very boring, because we had to sing the same word, it was a certain point in time that we just had to keep saying it, then stop, and then saying it. But it would sound really weird if it was just like everyone mixing up the words and it wasn't like at the same time. So that was hard, but I think we worked together good enough to make it work.
Okay.
Yeah. We had to like learn to blend our voices so that it wouldn't just sound like, I don't know, like chunky.
Yeah.
So, Kaylee, when you mentioned you're like watching others, that's key. But Emily, how do you blend voices? I'm not. So you all need to know. I'm gonna ask the Lord in heaven to allow me to sing better than I do. I love to sing. I'm just not very good. But how do you blend voices?
So I sing in my church's choir, and one thing that the director told us was that we need to learn to like listen to each other to hear the other parts as they sing, so we can all like learn to like mash up our voices so that we get like a good result.
So I hear listening, I hear looking, watching. It almost sounds like you guys are on an athletic field, because I know that you all three, you play athletics, right?
Yes.
So what's the teamwork difference, and what are the similarities maybe between singing in a choir and playing a team sport?
I say it's like in basketball, you can't be a ball hog.
Okay.
And in choir, you can't just, not like steal the show, but you can't make yourself like the big picture in it.
Okay.
You have to have everyone work together and, like Emily said, blend their voices.
Okay. Yeah, that's really neat too.
So, like Kaylee said, with like the basketball analogy, you also need to learn how to like pass the ball to each other, like work
Okay.
together in order to like have like in order to perform well. And it's also like sometimes it's hard to do that because people might not be singing the way you want them to. So then that's gonna kind of force you to be like a ball hog, but then you need to learn to just like accept that and just sing as well as you can.
Okay. And you only got like one day to work with
Yeah.
all these others.
Yeah.
What was your impression of the other students as teammates?
For the most part, I thought they did really well. At some points, you can get slightly annoyed with them, but at the end, it all came together, and I thought it sounded pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you think, Emily? You may say something.
Yeah, so there were some people who were kind of like ball hoggers at like at the honors choir, but one person's voice is gonna help the like group sing well, but it's not like a single person can change the way that the song sounds because it's a group effort.
Yeah. Were you all standing next to each other?
Yes.
Yes.
You all were. So you had some teamwork already between the three of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you connected with those. Did you make any new friends while you were down there?
No.
Well, not like friends, but at one point, the director had us like all get up and meet each other and like say hi and say like what our favorite sandwiches were and
Yeah.
what our favorite holiday was, so we could all like get to communicate and learn more about each other.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, it sounds like it's a big event. I mean, to spend one whole day together,
Yeah.
that's a big deal. So looking a little bit to the future, Kaylee, what's something that you'd learned through this whole process that you think you could take into your future musical journey or broadly in life?
So I think like a lesson is going back to like the teamwork. You always are going to have to work together at some point in your life, if it's best like a sport or if it's in a musical, but you just have to learn to work together as a team and not steal a show.
Teamwork applies to a lot of things, it sounds like. Well, thank you so much. And I hope that carries all three of you sound like you're great teammates for each other and for others. So, Kaylee, to close us out, and maybe if the other two of you want to chime in, but certainly have time for that. But what advice would you give to other young musicians?
So memorizing songs can sometimes be like hard. So I would advise to ask like your musical teacher for help on that, and they can go like one-on-one with you and help you out with that. And also to always trust in God that He will provide.
Okay.
And if your parents let you, you should definitely go to Panera after.
Yes.
Go to dinner after?
Yeah.
That's our new tradition.
Yeah.
Okay. All of you went together?
Yeah.
And were your parents all there too?
Yeah.
Celebrating did Mrs. Shafano get to join you?
No.
No.
I think she stayed to help clean up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, three of you, very much. Thanks for stepping forward and saying yes. Mrs. Shafano, if you're listening, we thank you so much for having this vision and for making this happen and for the opportunity. And I hope and pray that the precedent that the three of you set will continue on with our other musicians and singers. And so are there any more events? Are you guys singing any more this year as a choir?
Kaylee and I are in the spring musical.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right. What's your role?
I'm the mayor's youngest daughter, Gracie.
Okay.
I'm a Riversea child.
Okay. And Signe, are you going to go to the musical?
I'm going to watch it.
You're going to watch it? Yeah, me too. We can't wait. So we'll see you at the musical, which will be this Thursday, Friday, and 2 performances on Saturday.
Yeah.
And ladies, well done. Thank you so much. God bless you. For the rest of you, we'll see you on campus
Thank
soon.
you.